Yes, welcome back. Welcome back once again. So, I remember in the last lesson we talked about how to solve quadratic equations using factorization method. And I remember I was clear. I told you that we solve quadratic equations using three methods. I told you factorization method, I told you using formula, and lastly by completing squares. Wow, that's it. So today we are going to see how to solve quadratic equations using should we use complete? No, let's use formula using solving quadratic equation using formula. And what is that formula? So this formula is this. It is negative b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac then out of 2a. And with time I want to show you how they derive this formula. And of course this formula, it is derived from this expression of quadratic, the general expression for quadratic equations. This is where they derive it from, and they use method of completing squares. Maybe when we reach that side of completing squares, I'll be able to show you how they get this formula, but this is just a hint to show you where this formula is derived from. So for this case, let's just use it. Let's just use it, then we shall get to know the derivation of this formula with time. So let me give you example number one. A question: solve this quadratic equation. We are going to use the same equation as the one we solved using factorization method, which was x squared plus 2x minus 24 equals to 0. So we are going to solve this formula using another method of formula, this equation using another method of formula. But I know that the coefficient, it means that value before this variable here. So therefore the coefficient of x squared, it is 1. Therefore a is the coefficient of x squared, as you can see here, it is 1, comma, b is the coefficient of x, as you can see here, therefore the coefficient here, it is b. And then lastly the c, it is the whole of this constant, it will be negative 24. That's all. Then after that, it's a matter of substituting within this formula and then do the needful, as simple as that. So therefore let's substitute. So I know that this is x will be the value I'm looking for, is equal to minus b, but b I know it is 2, therefore it will be minus 2 plus or minus square root of b squared. But b squared, what I know about b squared, I know that my b is 2. My b is 2. Therefore b squared will be 2 squared, which will be 4, then minus 4 a. What is our a? Our a is 1, then c to be minus 24. As simple as that. Remember, everything is under square root, then everything also here out of 2a, but 2a I know a is my 1 is 1. So from here I go directly to this point, I simplify, I get x is equal to minus 2 plus or minus, so I get square root of, so this is 4. Remember this is a negative this negative will cancel out with this to be a positive. Okay, and I know that if I have 4 plus 4 times 24, what do you get? You get something like, if you have your calculators, you can try to press to see what do you get if you get 4 times 24. If you get 4 times 24, I'm sure you must get something like, is it 96? Yeah, 96. That's what you get. Then everything out of 2. So let's continue simplifying. I know this will be minus 2 plus or minus, this is 4 plus 96, it will be 100, and the square root of 100 is 10 directly. Then everything out of 2. Therefore, our answers for x will be either x is equal to minus 2 plus 10 out of 2. This will be 8. Remember, 10 minus 2 is 8, then divided by 2, which will be 4. That's one of our answers. Or x will be minus 2. I take a minus here. Then out of 2, this will be minus 12 out of 2, which will be minus 6. So our answers are these, 4 and negative 6. And I hope these are the same answers as we got when we used factorization method. So this is the method. This factorization method is very good, but we usually encourage friends that they should use this method on some harder quadratic expressions, I mean equations. And when I say harder quadratic equations, those are the equations which are not easy to get factors, where finding factors, it's not something easy. So if you can look for factors and you don't see any factor, you are advisable to use this method of formula. But if you can get factors, well and good, that's perfect. Thank you for watching. So our next video, we shall see how to solve the same quadratic equation using completing squares, and from that we shall also be able to see how we can derive this formula as well. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment.